Bardarbunga Volcano, Iceland may soon have a brand new volcanic eruption, and this time surprisingly, unlike the last 10 eruptions in the country, might not occur on its Reykjanes Peninsula. As it appears that a sleeping giant buried beneath Iceland's largest ice sheet has truthfully awakened and is now actively showing signs of unrest, specifically the nation's second tallest volcano, Bardarbunga, which was just placed at a raised alert level of yellow. This change was current situation made due to a very strong earthquake swarm which began at 6:08 a.m. local time on January 14, 2025. Across the next 171 minutes, numerous earthquakes struck one after the other in rapid succession, involving 70 events large enough to be felt, and appearing for a time to even produce episodes of volcanic tremor. This sequence produced as many non-microearthquakes, aka magnitude 2.1 or higher quakes, in only a little less than 3 hours that would normally be seen across an entire year. This earthquake swarm was not only the strongest to occur since Bardarbunga last erupted in 2015, but also shared a strange behavior and strong similarity to earthquake swarms witnessed only 1–2 days before a magma dike began propagating in 2014. In other words, it appears as though either a small-scale magmatic intrusion just occurred which failed to reach the surface, or so much pressure now exists in Bardarbunga's underlying magma chamber that it is quite likely to soon produce a true magmatic intrusion. Based on my own analysis of the recent earthquake depths across the swarm, I suggest the latter possibility to be most likely. It looked to me like enough pressure existed to start breaking through overlying rock, but what magma did do this was not able to travel very far. This development is not all that unexpected. 2014–2015 eruption as an ever-increasing amount of earthquakes has been striking the volcano in recent months, occurring alongside an elevated level of ground deformation indicating the influx of magma into magma chamber since May 2024. This earthquake swarm behaved quite similarly to quake swarms preceding Bardarbunga's last eruption, which covered a vast area of 82.1 square kilometers or 31.7 square miles in a fresh layer of lava, with this thankfully occurring in an uninhabited area. The first warning sign was increased seismic activity clustered in a narrow section of the volcano on August 14, which continued into the following day, indicating a similar situation in its magma chamber to what it currently hypothesized to be occurring at Bardarbunga's primary magma chamber. Then, on August 16, the number of earthquakes rapidly increased once again, soon forming a line that progressed over time to the southeast, east, northeast, and then north-northeast, which perfectly tracked an expanding and rising dike of magma. This led to a subglacial eruption on August 23 and eventually a 6-month-long episode of lava effusion beginning on August 29, by which time the dike had propagated to 48 kilometers in length. Magma dikes from Bardarbunga have the theoretical potential to trigger an eruption across a vast area, translating to 3.1% of the country. These flank eruptions tend to be mildly explosive, forming cinder cones, but because individual flows of lava frequently travel upwards of 10, 20, or even 30 kilometers or more from their source, these on their own can be hazardous to nearby homes and infrastructure. However, only 3 effusive eruption scenarios flank eruption shave occurred since the year 1700 at Bardarbunga, while in the same timespan 18 eruptions occurred underneath the vast Vatnajökull ice sheet from this complex. While 4 of these remained as completely subglacial eruptions, the other 14 produced explosive eruption plumes that broke through the ice and rose into the air, which if the same happened today could disrupt some regional air traffic. All 18 of these eruptions melted large volumes of glacial ice, creating Jökulhlaup which could wipe out roads and bridges. Now, I want to stress that there is still a decent chance that the Bardarbunga volcano does not end up erupting, and that volcanic unrest simply subsides back to normal levels. Only the next several weeks will tell. However, if an eruption was to occur, a small to medium-sized explosive summit eruption that creates Jökulhlaup and moderate ash emissions seems the most likely. As a final note, I would like to thank my new YouTube channel member Fulmer Music for